settings here. Okay, is this better or should I try to
Yes.
speak louder?
Yeah, it is better.
Okay. Okay. Um, so if you're here for the first time, once again, go to the side room. What we typically do in the side room is go a step further or a few steps further than the main room, which is primarily for the introduction and the initial self-realization exercise. So here we explore uh, more details, more information about the different chakras in our subtle system, about the different energy channels, also known as nadis, and how to become more sensitive to their state, how to detect imbalances in our chakras, in our across our nadis, and what might be some of the implications of each chakra or energy channel in terms of our everyday living. Um, because as we know, every chakra has certain qualities. It manifests in very specific ways in our lives, in terms of our health, in terms of our overall well-being, in terms of our growth. So we will learn to understand the language of these chakras, so to speak, um, and see how we feel on our hands and the flow of vibrations, if that improves as we balance ourselves, as we address any issues with any of these subtle centers. And uh, a really important tool to or technique to help clear out any of the imbalances in our system, which we tend to accumulate. We tend to accumulate all sorts of subtle and gross energies throughout the day as we think, as we interact with others, as we go to different places, as we work. We are constantly interacting with all sorts of energies, and it has an effect on our subtle system. Um, so we do this what's known as a foot soak towards the end of the day. You just take a bucket of water and put some salt in it, like you see in this picture, and have a mug of fresh water on the side to rinse off your feet after the foot soak. So we basically dip our feet in the water and sit in this position and meditate. And we also direct our attention um, uh, uh, towards some of the chakras, and we balance ourselves. And we allow these elements, the water and the salt. Salt represents the earth element, to absorb any toxins, any negative energy, anything that is weighing us down at the subtle level. And it's a very effective medium to just discharge unwanted energies and recharge ourselves. And it actually improves our meditation. So that's what we start with. We will do the foot soak for about 15 minutes or so. And then we will dispose the water in the toilet, come back and settle down again. And we have a short speech from Sri Mataji. Today's focus is going to be on the third center, the Nabhi chakra. So I'll talk about that as well. And then after hearing the speech, we will meditate some more. Um and and we'll see how we feel. So if anyone has any questions before we begin in a couple of minutes, please feel free to share. Or if you've already been doing the foot soak by yourself every day, um, what your experience has been, perhaps, if feel free to share that as well. We have 1 or 2 minutes before we start. So looks like Zulema is asking to be moved to the side room. So Zulema, this is in fact the side room.
Oh, it is? I
Yeah.
thought this was the the pre,
No,
the
this is not.
introduction.
No, this is not the introduction. This is
Okay, okay,
the
good.
next step. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I think we can start.
Okay, yeah, I'll just quickly introduce myself. So my name is Sudeep Hegde. I live in South Carolina in the United States, and this is the southeastern part of the US. And I work at Clemson University as a faculty in industrial engineering, and I've been practicing Sahaj Yoga since about 2008. So, all right. So, as we always do, we will begin the meditation but with a series of hand gestures to guide the energy, the Kundalini, along the central channel up over our head. And then we're going to balance our channels with a series of arcs. So the first movement to raise the energy, we raise the left hand from near the lower abdomen. Just bring it up in front of you, up over your head. And as you do it, we wrap our right hand around it in this fashion and bring that energy up, and we tie a knot over the head. This is to establish the energy, the Kundalini, over the seventh center. So we'll do this again. And the second time we tie 2 knots. And the third time we will tie 3 knots. And then we are going to balance each of our 7 chakras by bringing the energy of the right. So we take the right hand near the left hip, raise the energy of the left, make an arc over your head, bring it all the way down the right, and then retrace that path with the right hand. We're raising the energy of the right, arc over the head, and all the way down the left. So we make this pair of arcs 6 more times, balancing each of our chakras one by one. So if you have the footsoak bucket in front of you, let's put our attention first. Actually, if you don't have the footsoak today, that's fine too. You can absolutely meditate along. So let's first just put our attention at the top of our head. This is the place where that energy, the Kundalini, makes that initial connection. By piercing the seventh center. And we're going to rotate the right hand clockwise over the water, allowing this flow of energy, the subtle energy, to vibrate the water and the salt. And we, in our hearts, silently, we can invoke the qualities of the ocean. We can ask that the qualities of the ocean be represented in these elements. And now we can put both our feet in the water. And for the rest of the foot soak meditation, you can either keep your eyes closed and meditate along, or you can look at Sri Mataji's photograph, specifically the red dot, the bindi on her forehead. We'll first put the right hand towards the earth. So just let the right hand hang by your side, hand pointing towards the earth. And let us feel a connection with Mother Earth. And we ask Mother Earth to please absorb all negative energies, all imbalances on my left energy channel, which is known in Sanskrit as the Ida Nadi. This is a channel of the past, consisting of all our memories, emotions, the subconscious, desires. So we do not analyze any of these. We simply surrender to the power of Mother Earth to take away what is not needed. Let my Ida Nadi be free of any past conditionings, attachments, superficial desires, or even subtle, impure desires. We simply let go. Mother, please cleanse my left side, my left channel. The left channel has its roots in the first chakra, which is just below the spine, near the tailbone. And the quality of this chakra is innocence and purity. So we can also ask Mother Earth, Mother, please enlighten my innocence. Let me have enlightened innocence. Let my thoughts be pure. Free of lust, greed, jealousy. Let me feel the joy of my own innocence. Let me feel the joy of being the spirit. As the left side starts to clear, you might notice that the left hand feels a little lighter, perhaps more of a cool flow or a breeze. We can bring the right hand back on our lap, and we'll raise the left hand towards the sky. So just bending your arm at the elbow, palm facing backward. The right hand rests on the lap. And here we appeal to the sky and to the air elements to clear our right energy channel. So the right side is the side of action, conscious activity, thinking, planning about the future. So we ask that all the heat that is generated because of mental and physical activity be released from my being. We let go of the sense of I-ness, the ego. You can even say as an affirmation, I am not the doer. You, the divine, are the doer, doing everything. You are the doer. So make me humble. Soothe my attention. I do not need to be in control of things all the time. You are the doer. You are the controller. can bring the left hand down. So both the hands on our lap. We can put both our hands towards the earth by our side. And once more, appeal to Mother Earth. Mother, please remove any remaining imbalances in my subtle system. Keep me in the present. And bring our hands back on our lap. We keep our attention at the top of our heads. Let's place the right hand just above our navel, on our stomach, just above the belly button. And we're going to slowly move the right hand clockwise from the top to the left of the stomach to just below the navel, then to the right of the stomach, back on top. So just continue making these slow clockwise movement with the right hand. This region is known as the void or the Bhavasagara in Sanskrit, where our Guru principle is established. So here we can say, make me my own master. I am my own master. Please remove all false knowledge and all falsehood, all impurities in my Guru principle. Please purify my Guru principle. We can bring our hand back on our lap and just keep our attention at the top of our head and just stay in the silence for a few more minutes. Okay, we can conclude the foot soak by taking our feet out, out of the water one by one, rinsing them off. Let's take a minute to dispose the water and come back. So we're going to focus on the Nabhi chakra today. The Nabhi is the third energy center. At the physical level, it is associated with the stomach, with digestion, with the spleen, the kidneys also to some extent. But at a subtle level, it it gives us a sense of peace, and it makes us contented. It makes us satisfied beings, which is very important for us to rise higher, so that the clinging for material wants and material needs is dissolved, allowing you to take your attention higher to the spiritual realm. So it's really important that we feel peaceful, and the Nabi has a critical role. But then there are there's multiple aspects to every chakra, because every chakra is influenced by the left and the right channels, energy channels. So it has typically it has a central aspect, and then there are influences or aspects from the left side and those from the right side. So for the Nabhi, on the left side, we it gives us a sense of stability in the household. Um, it a good balanced healthy relationship between a husband and wife, between as a family as a whole, is what the Nabhi enables. So, and the Nabhi on the other hand could be affected adversely if there are lots of imbalances in our family relationships, especially the immediate family. Uh, um, because the left side is generally connected with emotion. So, and that's how a piece may be disturbed. And on the right side, this chakra is related to attention and the way we carry ourselves in society, in all walks of life. And but overall, it gives us sense of balance. It gives a sense of peace and stability. So the corollary of being peaceful and satisfied is that you're also generous. So if you are satisfied within, you will naturally be generous to others in every way, both material and otherwise. So the Nabhi manifests itself in very beautiful ways, allowing us to show our generosity, our love to others freely. So let's listen to a speech by Sri Mataji, where it's an excerpt from a bigger speech, where she highlights some of the manifestations of the Nabhi chakra.
Now the left side is the center of the family life, the Graha Lakshmi, the goddess of the family, a household. You see. A person who runs after money too much forgets his family. He has no time for his family. A husband and wife may meet somewhere on the airport or may just wave at each other sometimes, you see, crossing each other. Or the children suffer the most. And in that case, the women also then take up with the men. They compete, what's wrong? They start copying men. And doing so, when they compete with each other, then what happens? That this family life gets disturbed. The woman of the household is dissatisfied. Her ego is not satisfied. In olden times, the man used to go in the jungle and get all the wood cut, bring it home, and give it to the wife, and wife used to cook. There was no problem because there was barter system. He could see her working in the household. Now the husband earns the money and the woman spends. I mean, that also requires some work, isn't it, to spend the money. But to man, it looks like that I'm the earning member and she's the spender. So she says, all right, I will also earn. But in this, too much of competition like this between the two, what happens? The family suffers. The children suffer. And such a person will have problem with the wife will have problem with the husband, and you can always feel that center on this finger. If that finger is catching, that means there's something wrong with your family relationship, that you have to adjust yourself and he has to adjust. It's an important thing. Because you are like the flowers which have to produce a fruit. That's what nature wants. Nature wants that you are there to produce the fruit that is your children. That's why you are men and women. That's the basics. Now this Graha Lakshmi's center is on the left hand side, and the another is Raja Lakshmi center is on the right hand side. Now this center gives us the power to rule over people, and we become very, in extremes, you see, we can become very arrogant and we can become very, very sort of authoritative, and we might sort of end up with a funeral with 10,000 people behind us, all bought from market and put there behind you without any feelings. That's all, finished. With such a man finished, they say, oh, thank God he died. He was a horrible terror for us. So, that kind of a life can come with Raja Lakshmi. but in the center is the Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess, is the power within us by which we balance, lead a very balanced life, by which we are satisfied. Now they have made a beautiful picture of this Lakshmi. Also one should understand this power is a lady, is a mother, and she stands on a lotus. Now these are all symbols which suggest that these symbols are carved out with such deep significance. She stands on a lotus. Means imagine who can stand on a lotus. And she is a very healthy woman, and she stands on a lotus. It means that she is never putting pressure on anyone. A rich man comes in, he must honk his car loudly because he's rich, so he thinks he must honk it higher. And a rich man must go in a big limousine or some sort of a thing to show off that he's very rich. If he comes to any program or they must sit in front, he should have the front seat, and he makes him known everywhere. Everybody must feel the weight of the rich man. He can run away with 10 wives of somebody, and he can have a big boat for himself, and he can get any number of women there, and he can spoil any families he likes because he's rich. This kind of thing comes in people, but Lakshmi, the one who stands on the lotus, is the beauty and the glory of the riches that God has given that person. Then it has got 2 red pink flowers in the hand that are lotus flowers again. Now the lotus is regarded as a very holy flower in India because it is so receptive to everything that is crude and funny. First of all, it is born in the mud. Just think of it. In the mud, in the filth, where the horrible smell is coming out, the lotus is born. And the one lotus gives the fragrance, the beautiful fragrance to the whole atmosphere, and kills all that filth and everything, and covers the whole pond with its big, big leaves, so that it looks a beautiful pond. That's what is the lotus for. But this lotus is a pink lotus, means pink, is the sign of love. Pink is the sign of love. So such a person has to have tremendous love and that softness of the lotus. Now the inside of the lotus is very soft and nice. And I don't know what you call that, the black bee, a very big one, which has got horrible, the black bee is like that, which has got angular legs and things like that, horrible, you cannot touch it. That one can find its place in the lotus. When it goes to the lotus opens its petals and takes it inside and makes it sleep on the corona that it has, very soft one on the bed, and covers it nicely and gives it a nice, swinging feeling that it feels it is in the lap of the mother and it sleeps on. Even such an animal, it gives a place to live. Now the man who is a Lakshmipati, the one who is blessed with Lakshmi, has to have a temperament like that. Anybody who comes to his house, anyone, should be very readily accepted. I've seen people like that. I've seen in my lifetime. Should be accepted, and they should be very gratified to have such people in the house, and should feel that, oh God, what a blessing it is that we have a guest in the house. But in modern times, we find out devices and methods how to avoid guests. Guests are equal to pests. I was in London. We were living on Surrey Hills, and we had bungalows, separate bungalows, quite good bungalows, I should say. There were 7 bungalows. And poor husbands were taken to task for mowing the lawns and everything, and the wife used to tell them, now come along, do it properly. And the polishing of the brass, whatever was there, and everything was done very well. But I didn't see even a rat enter those houses. Even a rat. I mean, leave alone human beings. Nothing entered those houses, only these 2 persons used to come out and go in. And I don't know, they might be having some yearly, some sort of a get-together maybe, but nobody would. While my house was naturally, I am like this, so it was open all the time. People would come in and go out and this and that, and I was just enjoying their company. And one day they asked me, "What's the matter in your house? All the time people are coming and going." And we used to wonder, what is it going on inside? I said, "Nothing, just they come, have tea and go. That's all, just some talk together, some record of love. But what is this? All the doors are closed." That way I must say, Sydney people are very open-hearted. And they like to be together. There is a togetherness in them. But with all this, if you cannot have togetherness to enjoy your wealth with others, then what's the use of all the wealth? If you have wealth, you'll go for horse racing. That's also your own enjoyment. If you have wealth, you will do something else which is so individualistic. You cannot enjoy your wealth unless and until you share it. As I told you the other day, that I am a capitalist in the sense I have all the powers within myself. But I cannot live without sharing it, so I am the greatest communist because I just cannot enjoy it. That's why I had to come all the way to Australia. And today my husband was so insistent that I should come back. No, I said, no, I have to meet all the Australians, stay, and then I'll come. So unless and until you share this love after realization, you do not enjoy. All isms drop out because you become combination of both extremes. And you just start enjoying yourself.
So let's just stay in silence, absorbing that message. Let's bring the right hand on top of our head. Just push down the center of the head with the center of the palm and slowly massage that area, moving the hand clockwise. Humbly asking the Kundalini, Mother, please come into my Sahasrara chakra. Please enlighten my attention. Please open my Sahasrara. The seventh center. Mother, please strengthen my connection with the divine. Make my consciousness one with the whole. Can bring the hand down. Let's keep our attention at the top of our head. Let's bring the right hand a few inches over the head. Just observe that space between your hand and the head. See if you feel a subtle flow, whether it's cool or warm. Bring the right hand down and do the same thing with the left hand. See how we feel. Can bring left hand down. And now we'll place the right hand on the left side of our Nabhi chakra, so the left side of our stomach. We brought our attention to the Sahasrara first, so that it becomes enlightened, so that it becomes more expansive beyond this limited being. And then we bring that enlightened attention through our Sahasrara to this chakra on the left side of the Nabhi. And we can ask our Kundalini, which is a living, mothering energy, Mother, please give me a balanced household, family life. Please remove any imbalances from my left Nabhi. Please nourish my left Nabhi chakra. Shri Mataji talked about the Gruha Lakshmi. So in India, the Gruha Lakshmi is the goddess who symbolizes the Lakshmi of the household. We do not need to worry about the physical circumstances of our family and household life. We simply ask that if there is any imbalance on our chakra, that be removed. Let me feel like the whole world is my family. We can bring the right hand back on our lap. And now we'll place the left hand on the right side of the stomach. So this is the right side of the Nabhi chakra. Mother, please give me wisdom and dignity that my behavior, my demeanor express generosity, express peace. Not so that I can impress others, but so that others feel that peace as well. We can bring the left hand back on our lap and now place the right hand on the center of the stomach. Just on or above the navel. Mother, please make me balanced and peaceful from within. Make me satisfied. We need to be free of all conditions to have peace. Because those conditions will never end. Instead, let us start with peace itself. Let us start with contentment itself. Mother, let me be contented in every way. Make me peaceful. We can bring the right hand back on our lap. And notice how we feel on our hands. The Nabhi chakra is reflected in the middle finger on both hands. The left hand for the left Nabhi and the middle finger on the right hand for the right Nabhi. So if we feel any tingling or heat or numbness on either of these, we can respond to that chakra accordingly using the affirmations that we just went through. the right Nabhi is also connected to the right Swadhisthana, which is the second energy center. And together, these centers look after our attention. And the seat of our attention is the liver at the physical level. So if we feel any tingling on the right middle finger or the right thumb, we can place the left hand on the right side of the stomach, on the liver, and say, please cool down my liver. Please soothe my attention. You can bring the left hand back on our lap. So we'll continue meditating for a few more minutes with our attention at the top of our head. We can once again bring the right hand a few inches over the head. Notice how you're feeling. Try the same thing with the left hand. Bring our hand down. And we'll keep our attention at the top of our head or just the space just above it and meditate in silence for a few more minutes. with that, we will conclude today's meditation session by once again raising the Kundalini 3 times and balancing ourselves with those 7 pair of arches. So let's raise the Kundalini as we did at the beginning. 1 knot. The second time, 2 knots. And the third time, 3 knots. And then use the right hand to raise the energy of the left, bring it down the right, raise the energy of the right, bring it down the left. 7 times in total. So thank you all for joining today, and hope you had good meditation. And please do keep meditating every day at home, and let us know if you have any questions or experiences to share.
Awesome, Sudit. Very, very awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, Mati. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you, Rahul, and thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Sudeep. Very nice, beautiful session.
Thanks for joining. Have a wonderful week.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you for a good session.
Thank you, Melody.